Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on this look. It's just basically a natural everyday makeup look that you can take anywhere, to work, to brunch, anywhere, but it's mainly focused on multi-use products. So products that you can use on your eyes, lips and cheeks, things like that. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So to achieve this look today, we're going to get started with skin prep. So I've already prepped my skin with skincare. So I used the usual, which is I cleansed, I toned, I serum, moisturized, I put eye cream on and a lip balm. So skin prep is out of the way. And now we're going to move on to primer, so base. Now this particular product I have always gone back to purely because it just does so much good for my skin. It's got a blend of antioxidants like your green tea. It's a really good anti-inflammatory for the skin. So if you get redness like me from time to time, like your blemishes, it's really good for that. It also doubles up, like yes it's a primer, but it also doubles up as a nice illuminator. So you can use it as a very natural illuminator or highlighter for the skin. So today's product, we're going to go in with the Jane Iredale Facial Primer and Brightener. Now, Jane Iredale is all about skincare ingredients meets makeup, and I'm all about that. So majority of the products are in that sort of area. So just a pea-sized amount of this product. Don't need much of it at all, so whoops, like that. And I'm just going to focus that on the areas where I want it low. So tops my cheeks here, above the brows. I basically want to keep the center of my face, so my T-zone, a little bit more matte. So whatever I have left on my fingers, then I just go in the center. All right, so primer's now on, so I'm nice and glowy and I feel very fresh. Ooh. Okay, so now that we've got primer on, we're going to move on to the base product. So today I've got two options. Depending on my mood, if I want to look extra glowy or depending if I have fake tan or not. So if I have fake tan on, I'll use the NARS Radiant Tinted Moisturizer, and this is in the shade Groenland, which is light 3. Yes, light 3. But this is a little bit warmer than usual for me, so I don't have any fake tan on. Yes, my face is a little bit lighter than my neck, but this is a little bit too warm. So lately I've been mixing it in with this beautiful Tinted Face Oil from Kosas. This is such a beautiful product, guys. It's got all these beautiful oils in there that are not pore clogging, of course, but it's just a beautiful natural way to give a slight tint to your face, but also provide a nice amount of coverage, but not looking like foundation. So I'm going to mix these two guys together to create the perfect finish and also color, because this one I'm actually in shade number 4, which is a little bit more golden, and this one's quite warm. So by mixing it together, I'm going to create that perfect cocktail. So I'm just going to mix it into this plate of mine that I've got here. You've got to shake this one. So I'm just going to mix the two together. And look, of course you don't have to do it like this, like you don't have to mix, but you know, sometimes you do have to mix if you're that, you know, specific shade that needs a bit of mixing to get that perfect in between, then go ahead and mix. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, you can go ahead and use your fingers to apply the tinted moisturizers, but I'm going to use a brush because I'm a huge fan of brushes and I love the way it diffuses it nicely into the skin. It just applies the color beautifully and it also blends at the same time. And I find that by using a brush, I actually use less product versus using my fingers sometimes. So for brush choice today, we're going to use the Real Techniques sculpting brush, and it looks like this. It's got an angle. I love it purely because, well, one, it's super soft, but it's dense enough so it really buffs in the product. So it's great for your cream products, your cream foundations, it could be your liquid, pretty much any like base product. It's really, really nice. And the fact that it's like angled up like this, you can get underneath your, you know, around your eye area, around your nose and mouth that are a little bit harder to reach. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, all right, so I'm just gonna buff a little bit of that product into my skin. And you want to be really gentle with your skin, guys. You don't want to be pressing too hard or like rubbing or like tugging at your skin too hard, because we don't want to encourage fine lines and wrinkles to appear. I don't know if you can see that glow, guys, but I'm super glowy and I love that. But yeah, that's the base down. So that was, to recap, the NARS Radiant Tinted Moisturizer and the Kosas Tinted Face Oil together as a blend. Now, I'm happy with the coverage. Again, it's just tinted moisturizer, so I'm not going to expect full coverage, but I just want to brighten my under eyes with concealer. And I absolutely love, and I can't get past it, it's the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eyes Concealer, and mine is in the shade Medium. It's just really creamy. It gives really good coverage. I would probably say it's a medium to full coverage, and you really don't need much at all, like a tiny amount. And this is what I've popped onto the back of my hair, like a little, like half a size of a pea. And I'm just going to use my fingers for this step because the warmth of my fingers really blend the product in nicely. So just pat. Less is more with concealer. I always say you don't want to like pack on too much because it can look a little bit heavy and cakey if you're not careful. Now, of course, you can use a sponge if you like, or a brush, whatever you're comfortable with, but I just like blending in concealers with my fingertips. And don't forget like the outer corners of the eyes here, guys, and the inner corners, because we naturally get dark there, so it's good to just brighten up around those areas. Now, next step is to apply a little bit of tinted highlighter. This is a brand new product from the brand Westman Atelier. I think that's how you pronounce it. Gorgeous packaging. It's just a matte black compact here. It's got a bit of weight to it as well. I kind of wish it was a little bit lighter because I sometimes like to carry a bit of makeup around with me, but whatevs. It's nice packaging, so I'm a sucker for nice packaging, obviously. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like. I don't know, like it's a highlighter, an illuminator with a bit of a tint, and this tint will suit any complexion. Fair skin, medium skin tones, dark, you name it, it will suit you. It's just a beautiful, warm, tinted highlighter. Yeah. So you can use your fingers to apply this. Now, this product has served me well on days where I'm really, really in a rush and I cannot even touch blush or like contour and I have to stick to one product. This is my go-to. You'll see it in a second, we'll zoom in. But as soon as I pop it on my cheeks, it gives this beautiful luminosity and a little bit of a tint. So I can get away with just using tint moisturizer and, you know, a bit of this on and I'm out the door if I'm like really, really in a rush. So, small amount. And I'm telling you, watch closely. Now I like to apply on the top parts of the cheekbone, just basically where I apply blush at this point, because I am aware that it is slightly tinted. It's not like your typical illuminator or highlighter where it's just like a gold undertone or a champagne or anything like that. There is a bit of a warmth to it. Just applying it here. Just basically, I'm applying it where the sun would naturally hit my face. That sounds a bit harsh. Kiss my face, not hit my face. Can you see that, guys? Glowy, tinted. So I can literally stop here and be like, put on, you know, tinted brow gel, quickly, bit of mascara, lip balm or lipstick, and then done, see you later, out the door. But got a bit of time. So realistically, this whole look would normally take me 10-15 minutes max. But like I said, if I'm like really rushed, I'll just stick to this. No bronzer, no blush, this is it. Like it's really natural flush to the skin. I'm happy with that. We'll move on to the next product. Okay, so the next product I'm going to go in with, and I have used this product before, but I am in love with it, purely because it's a multi-use product, which is the theme of this video, where it doubles up as, you know, a few things. So it is a cream product. So it is the NARS Multiple Stick, and it's in the shade G-Spot. I can feel a little hair. There we go, gotcha. So, like I said, it's the multiple stick. So you can pop it on your eyelids, you can put it on your cheeks, lips, and then done. Like, it's super easy. It's one of those, like, lately I've been a huge fan of multi-use products because usually I'm in a rush for things. So for today's look, I'm going to use the multiple stick as my blush, and I'm going to use the same brush that I used for the tinted highlighter before from Westman Atelier. And I'm just going to lightly brush it. You can just use your fingers, honestly, and just like blend it in. Alright, so I've just popped a little bit on my brush, and now I'm just applying a bit of that G-spot on my cheeks. The apple of my cheeks, and then I blend the rest of the product, that's whatever's left over on the brush, just blend it backwards. It's okay if you go too crazy with the blush, because I'll show you a trick how to diffuse that and take some of that away. But I'm a huge, like, I love a decent amount of blush because it's what makes you look really, you know, youthful. You know, you've got that natural flush in your skin. There's not a day that I don't have blush on, honestly. So that's the blush on. Now I'm going to diffuse it a little bit, mainly like just on the edges of it. So I'll show you a trick that I like to do if I feel like, ooh, a bit too heavy on the blush there, girl. Remember that brush that I use for tinted moisturizer? So you just grab the product, or like a clean brush, and I'm just gonna lightly diffuse and blend out the edges so it's a little bit more softer. A little bit more softer. Yep, cool. The next multi-use product that I absolutely love and adore and always go back to is the Hourglass Cheek Trio palette here, and I believe it's called Illume Sheer Color Trio. It's a long name, but they've only got this one trio, a cream trio cheek palette, and it's got your bronzer, your blush, and your highlighter. In this particular palette, I'm going to be using the bronzer. Okay, so the bronzer is the one on this side here, and again I'm going to go back in with the Ray Morris number 2 brush, and I'm just going to lightly add a little bit of the bronzer. So number 2 brush from Ray Morris, and just lightly dusting onto the bronzer bit, and I'm going to just keep it on the outer third of my cheekbone because I just want to lightly contour. Uh-oh. I pulled some of my hair out. Pause, hold please. Just on the outer third. See that? Like, you can immediately see a difference of what a little bit of bronzer and contour can do. Like, it's not really that heavy at all, so can you see the difference? Alright, so we've got a little bit of contour on now, and we're going to move on to the eyes. So for eyes, I thought I would go in with the RMS Baruti bronzer. So I'll just open that up so you can see the color. Now this essentially is just a cream bronzer. It's a beautiful, warm, golden bronzer that you can just pop on your cheeks, but I love it on the eyes, specifically as cream eyeshadow. So again, it's all about multi-use products. Now with creams, depending on how, I guess, oily your eyelids get, if you have oily eyelids, I would suggest going in with a eyeshadow primer just to help, you know, make the cream eyeshadow last a little bit longer for you. I don't really have oily eyelids, so I can just get away with just using cream eyeshadow. You know, as an option, you can maybe go in with, like, I know Urban Decay do really nice eyeshadow primers. What else? The balm. I've got the balm on my at hand to show you. So that's the balm eyeshadow primer that I sometimes use. Yeah, Urban Decay, there's like a lot. But yeah, so if you've got oily eyelids, prime your eyelids first, because cream shadows don't really last as long. They tend to transfer and fade away quicker than your powder. So I'm just going to use my fingers for this, and I'm literally just popping it on all over the eyelid and into the crease. Really easy. You can use a brush if you want. I have my moods. Just a light wash of colour across the eyelid. See that? So I've just popped it on this side, just a light wash of bronze. I'm going to continue on the other side. So I'm happy with the eyeshadow. It's just a light wash of colour. I don't want to go too dark. Now, as I said, I'm a huge fan of the glowy, dewy look, but I do want to set under my eye area with a nice organic translucent powder, because I don't want my concealer to crease later on. So it's a great tip to, you know, set it so it doesn't budge. And for that, I'm going to use, this is just a travel size, so it does come in the full size as well, but it's just a mini one. This is the Atelier translucent powder, the soft focus finishing powder. So I'm going to use that to set under my eyes so my concealer doesn't crease into the natural creases of my eye. And for that, I'm going to be using a brush, and this is the setting brush from Real Techniques, nice and small so it fits under my eye area. And before I go in to set it, I'm gonna, with my clean finger, I'm just gonna lightly pat across where I put the concealer, because I want to sort of smooth out the concealer, because I've actually allowed a bit of time for the concealer to settle into my natural creases of the eye, because we were busy doing other things like bronzers and stuff. So just lightly pat across the area where you applied concealer, just to like blend it all out, smooth it out, and then going in with that translucent powder and lightly patting over the top of the concealer so you set it. And this is it's not that mattifying, this powder from Illume, and that's what I love about it, and that's why I love using it to set around my eye area, because I don't want to use anything mattifying around the eye area, because naturally we are all dry and dehydrated under here. Alright, so I've set underneath my eye area with the Illume powder. I'm going to switch to a different powder product now to set the rest of my face, which is mainly my T-zone where I normally get shiny. It is the Charlotte Tilbury face powder, and it's the Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in shade 2, which is medium. It's a really lightweight powder that just lightly sets your foundation or a tinted moisturizer beautifully. So it just looks like that. And I'm going to use the Zoeva Luxe Face Definer brush, the 101 brush. It's a nice brush that's tapered at the top here, so you can even reach underneath the eye if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use this to set my T-zone. So just going in with a bit of that powder. Always tap off the excess if you're using powder, you don't want to load too much on. And I'm going to start just on my T-zone first, because that's where I naturally get shiny and a little bit oily throughout the day. So I want the center of my face to be on the more matte side. Just going to use this mirror so I can see what I'm doing. And don't, like, if you're setting your foundation or tinted moisturizer, try not to buff the powder in, because you'll disturb your beautifully blended work from, you know, your tinted moisturizer or your foundation. So you just want to lightly, like, pat across, just lightly. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, T-zone is now set. Next is brows. Now, I normally fill in my brows with pencil and then polish off the brows with a tinted brow gel. But today we're going to do things a little bit differently because I'm in a rush to get out. So it's the Hourglass Arch Fiber Gel, and it is in dark brunette. It's just a really nice tinted brow gel that will tint your brow hairs and add a bit of volume as well. So with tinted brow gel, you want to brush up and outwards. So can you see the difference there? One brow should be a little bit more, you know, volume added to it and slightly tinted, so it just frames the eyes a little bit better. I'm going to move on to the other side. So both brows are now on, so I'm going to use a soft brown eyeliner, and this is the eyeliner from Kevyn Aucoin. Sorry, I had a mental blank. This is my favorite eyeliner, one of my favorite eyeliners to pop on if I want a natural look. And it's in basic brown. It's just a soft crayon, and I'm just going to smudge this into the top lash line just to define my lashes. I don't want to go too crazy with anything like a heavy eyeliner with like a wing or anything. It's just going to be quite natural. So the aim is to get it as close to your the roots of your lashes to be able to enhance your lash line. And on the other end, it's got this like little sponge tip, and I'm just going to smudge out the edges. Okay, so you can see that one eye is more defined than the other, of course, and it's just a soft brown. And I've like smudged out the edge so it's a bit softer, not so harsh. Do the same on the other side. Alright, so eyeliner is on both eyes now, and I'm going to now curl my lashes with the Surat eyelash curler. This is like one of the best eyelash curlers I've ever come across, especially for my Asian eyelashes that are dead straight and they grow downwards. And this doesn't like curl my lashes in a way where it just like crimps it, like, what's the word? I don't know, it just like bends them weirdly. It just gives it a natural curl. So I'm going to go in with eyelash curler. Alright, so lashes are now curled, so they're ready for mascara. I'm going to be using the Kevyn Aucoin curling mascara. So it's a really nice tubular formula which just coats each individual lash without clumping, and you can just remove it really easily with just warm water at the end of the day. I love it, this particular formula, because one, it's a tubular formula and it doesn't transfer onto my lower lash line or give me panda eyes towards the end of the day. So it's a great mascara for me, and I always tend to just gravitate back to it. Always start at the root of the lashes and work your way up. Alrighty, so lashes are now on, and I also forgot to mention, because while I was like doing my lashes, I quickly put a little tiny amount of that same eyeliner on just the outer third of my bottom lash line, just because I wanted to make the eyes pop a little bit more. So you can do that if you want to, but initially I just had it on my top lash line. Now I've got it on a little bit on my lower lash line. So we are pretty much near the end now. All we have to pop on is a nice lippy, and the choice of lippy today is going to be the Kosas lipstick. This is my current fave, like when it comes to lipsticks, purely because the Kosas lipsticks are so creamy. They're so comfortable to wear because they're quite moisturizing, and I love the fact that it's, you know, good for the skin as well. It's, you know, it's one of those brands that are clean, conscious, natural makeup, you know, beauty products. So this shade is one of my faves from the range, and it's in Rose Water, and it's just a beautiful soft pink rose color. So it's perfect for the daytime, or if you just want to achieve that, you know, subtle lip look without going over the top. So I'm just going to pop this on. Okay, so lipstick is now on from the Kosas lipstick range, and the shade was Rose Water. Okay guys, so this is the finished look for today's makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed my video today and found it very informative. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Also, please leave a comment down below if you've experienced any of these products before or currently using them. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you'd love to share with me your current faves when it comes to the multi-use products, I would love to know, because I would love to use them and start experiencing them just like you. But for now, bye bye. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next video.